Benevolence. What does benevolence mean? Do y'all even know that? David Dimitri, we're live in color. David Dimitri, we are live in color. Mashing the place up. I wanted to do this later on in the day, because people be off work later on in the day. People ain't off work right now. People have jobs. You know what I'm saying? People have jobs and stuff like that. I wanted to do this later on in the day. So yeah, give thanks, gratitudes to the tudes. You know what I'm saying? Gratitudes, if that's the attitude. You know what I mean? Gratitude, that's the attitude. Benevolence to everyone. Benevolence. International affairs. And belief in self. That's the title. So yeah, that's it. We going live. It's David Dimitri. We're live in color. We're right here on Instagram. David Dimitri. We're live in color. We're right here on Instagram, and we are live on Facebook at David Dimitri Johnson. We're live on Facebook on at David Dimitri Johnson. You know what I mean? But on Instagram, we're David Dimitri, and on YouTube, we're live at O.W.U, the Original World Union. That's right. On YouTube, we're live on the O.W.U, Original World Union channel. And on Facebook, we're... So, yeah, that's what we're doing. That's how it's going today. Today we're on O.W.U, the Original World Union, on YouTube.com. Go ahead, subscribe, link up. Instagram, David Dimitri. We are live in color, and this is the song. Yo. Hey, 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 ooh. International, now's perfect time. Vibrate with the glowing glow, enhance your shine. Prime up international, energize your shine. Vibrate with glowing glow, now's perfect time. Prime up on them, smooth on the come up. David Dimitri is live in color. Prime up on them, hackers won't run up. David Dimitri is live on grind. Prime up on them, bow for the fun up. David Dimitri brand life online. Prime up international, that's perfect time. Y'all shine, invigorating souls. Love how you bone. Time now, don't stall on hold. Keep settings on go. All mine, I'm taking y'all hearts on bold. Lend me your souls. Make social media make sense, y'all status on slow. They that don't fold. Haters exposed, give them no growth. That blows them hoes. Big up investors, divestors, tricksters, too jealous and cold. Networks, network, net profit, net jerk. Friend go viral. Got this untouchable pro. I'm like Al Heyman unknows. Hey, 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 hey. Sneak in a line. Hey, hey, hey. Shine forth your vibe. Hey, hey, hey. Peek at your prime. Hey, 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 hey. That's my new drop, David Dimitri Live in Color. Song name, David Dimitri Live in Color. That will be dropping November 1st on all platforms, whether it be Spotify, Apple, YouTube. The video will be dropping before the new year. Also, for David Dimitri live in color. That's me, and that's my song. It's a soca slash hip hop slash soca song. Yeah, you feel that soca in there? Must change for growth. Oh no, I ain't on the drop. All talk, one squash, one grape, no walk. Watch it fall off. New get riches. Go. Crypto, I don't know. Go fitness, go skits, go cooking, go pranks, go gang, no go fakes. Yeah. So remember, you could call in 909-446-2388. For anybody that is already logged in, I didn't let people know really that I was going live. I barely even launched the advert for it. I've been doing bad on that. But I plan on being on here at least an hour and a half to 2 hours, so I should be able to get a couple people in. It's the content, it's the algorithm. So I'll probably even go just for an hour, about 3, and I'll be able to let everybody know that I'll be coming back on around 5 or 6. So how about that? We doing good. We got these energies flowing over here in my life. Do you got those energies flowing? Do you have the energies flowing so that you can shake the snakes and haters? Are you nullifying the forces of energies, the vibrations and projections of the sabotagers? You should be. You need to be dimming the energies of your would-be haters, the sabotagers that don't want you to make it in life or want to impede, distract, annoy, agitate, frustrate your growth. Prosperity is growth, different forms of growth. They want to do that knowingly or unknowingly. That's game. That's what I do here on David Dimitri Live in Color. I drop game. All right, my energy is kind of low today because of a great work I had to do last night. And before the work, I was speaking of haters because someone left a note on my vehicle, one of my vehicles, and they're telling me when and when I can't park. It's a mistake to tell me what I can and can't do. I'm a little bit too dangerous for that. And I'm not into physical retaliation or anything like that because I don't need to. I have the spiritual powers. You understand me? The spiritual forces are with me. So what should you call the Amen? Let's start off and give praise and thanks to the source of all force, source of all power. We call the divine manifester of life, the source of all life, the giver of fun and joy. You feel me? This is the attributes, the ideas, the vision, the visualize, the feelings that you get when you think of the Amen Supreme. Brighten it back up. Look at you directly in your eyes to tell you, I'll call the Amen, the source of all force, source of all power. Also, the spirit of all spirit, the soul of all souls. Let's clap it up for the Amen, the Supreme. Do you give thanks and praise to the Almighty, not imaginary God outside of yourself, but the almighty source of all force within you, that you are, that soul and that spirit you are, not your ego mania and all these words and thoughts or concepts, but just your clean slate, your soul, your spirit. That is the source of all force, source of all power, the Amen Supreme, the divine. In the morning risings, I wake up, I call it the Amun Ra. I say, Sabati, Amun Ra, Amare. Ankh and Ma'atotep. I say, Sabati Kanun Pata. Ankh and Ma'atotep. Giving thanks. Sabati Jehuti. Jehuti Seshat. Ankh and Ma'atotep. Sabati Heru. Heru. Ar. Heru. Hekdai. Akin Ma'atotep. You didn't know I could do that. You didn't know I could do that. So, I have not let nobody. I did post on Instagram, but just like
20 minutes before I'm going live. I just felt like it. I don't know. I didn't want to wait to go live. It's better. It's more people. It's more if I wait a couple of more hours. But I have an opportunity, and I'm going to go to it. It's a meeting. It's financial guy. And so, yeah. I want one of these. You guys got one of these electric bikes? I want an electric bike. I was actually going to probably purchase these stools so I can do my show sometime. It's just it's cool. They're real cool. These are some cool stools. I don't know that you could. It's funny when you're gonna buy something from OfferUp or something like that. It looks good from a distance, and you look close, it'd be rust. It'd be tears. Be something wrong with it. You know what I mean? Like it's just like that when you messing around with these OfferUp type things. You know what I'm saying? The funny thing is, right now, I just got a brand new bed. It's a king size, not no California king, but a king size bed. Silly Prophet's Phoenix or whatever, I swear. It's a whole nother level. I'm really feeling that bed. I like it. So, right now, we are in proposition mode. David Dimitri live in color is looking for growth and investment. Give thanks to Alley Cat _B, mashing the place up. Let the sirens sound. You know what I'm saying? I got a couple things I want to share with y'all though. I got something I want to share with y'all. Alright, since things are going. I notice all music has different versions of the same songs, right? It'll be the same track and they got different artists. Have y'all noticed that? I noticed that, and that's something I like. You know what I'm saying? I really like that. Here goes an artist, a song. Tell me what you think.
Deceitful presidents can't represent me. Don't need no fake gas president to represent me. I'm prophesying that President Donald Trump soon be dying. He's always lying and instigating people to be fighting. I'm prophesying that Trump fall dead for backbiting. Trump's people sighing when he fought it. Abundant heads and fathers work struggling with mass, muzzle and breath. Elders passing away suddenly, virus or death. Trump claimed coronavirus wasn't a threat. He cut the tax on the big rich CEO class. 2020 better corporations, trillions gas.
This song is about Donald Trump dying. They say prophesying President Donald Trump will be dying.
Really only $120 gone fast. Trump supporters rushing investment appreciation. Second civil war upon us, divided nation. Prophesying that President Donald Trump soon be dying. He's always lying and instigating people to be fighting. I'm prophesying.
Okay, on a note, that's me, David Dimitri, and that's my song Prophecy. Already out, already on all platforms. On all platforms, Spotify, Apple, etc. You can check out my Spotify and Apple profile. And the music video is on YouTube on David Dimitri live in color YouTube. The music video is on David Dimitri live in color YouTube.
Deceitful presidents can't represent me. Don't need no fake gas president to represent me. I'm prophesying that President Donald Trump soon be dying. He's always lying and instigating people to be fighting. I'm prophesying that Trump fall dead for backbiting. Trump's people sighing when he fall dead. I'm visualizing. Mamas work with COVID-19, abundant heads, and fathers work struggling with mass, muzzle and breath. Elders passing away suddenly, virus or death. Trump claimed coronavirus wasn't a threat. He cut the tax on the big rich CEO class. 2020 better corporations, trillions gas. We're here, stuff and shut down, time is past. Great God, got us all this, bring us past. Inflation shrieking at 1,200, they gave them ass. Really only $120 gone fast. Trump supporters rushing investment appreciation. Second civil war upon us, divided nation. Prophesying that President Donald Trump soon be dying. He's always lying.
So yeah, that's my song Prophecy on all platforms. You know what I mean? That was my song Prophecy on all platforms. Look up David Dimitri. The single's name Prophecy. It's on Spotify, YouTube.com, and David Dimitri Live in Color. You check out YouTube, David Dimitri Live in Color. You can hear that song, see the music video, Prophecy. It's prophesying of Donald Trump being assassinated. I dropped that song in 2020. I dropped the song and music video in the year 2020. Yes, I did, because I had a dream that he had got killed, so I dropped a song about it. That's what I do. I prophesy. You know what I mean? He's still alive. And I ain't caring about what nobody did, but they working on doing something to him. That's what's pretty clear. You know what I'm saying? Not to laugh at it, but they working on doing something to Donald Trump. Yeah, he rubbing people wrong. Clearly, Donald Trump is rubbing people wrong, just like P. Diddy did, and he gonna be P. Diddy dead, and P. Diddy still gonna be alive in prison. You know, P. Diddy don't have a problem having sex partners in prison, but Donald Trump don't want to be dead. Because Donald Trump ain't ready for hell that his ass is going to. Yeah, I said that. And thank you, Sister Tony, TONIC NNGH 722 on Instagram. It's love every time to my sister in blessing. You know what I'm saying? And Polo. That's AKGPLO, POLO, AKGPOLO on Instagram. It's love every time, brethren, sisterin. That's what we do. We got something lined up for you if you've seen the title. You know what I mean? If you look at the title, I'm gonna line up some information. I got some good videos and information for y'all. You know what I'm saying? So y'all stay tuned, and I'm gonna run that song back if y'all don't mind, so that my new people coming in on Instagram is Rush Emanelis. That's Rush Emanelis. Rush Manels. So they do nails. This is the nail stylist, profilist, nail stylist, profilist, mashing the place up. Know what I'm saying? Gotta give props to my folks coming in on the Instagram. I'm going to name off my people on my YouTube in a minute, but I'm going to have to drop some solid knowledge to y'all. But first, I'm going to play something for y'all.
Deceitful presidents can't represent me.
This is my song, Prophecy, that I dropped in the year 2020, predicting Donald Trump's being assassinated.
That President Donald Trump soon be dying. He's always lying and instigating people to be fighting. I'm prophesying that Trump fall dead for backbiting. Trump's people sighing when he fall dead. I'm visualizing. Mamas work with COVID-19, abundant heads, and fathers work struggling with mass, muzzle and breath. Elders passing away suddenly, virus or death. Trump claimed coronavirus wasn't a threat. He cut the tax on the big rich CEO class. 2020 better corporations, trillions gas. We're here, suffering shutdown, time is past. Great God got us all this, bring us past. Inflation shrieking at 1,200, they gave them ass. Really only $120 gone fast. Trump supporters rushing investment appreciation. Second civil war upon us, divided nation. Prophesying that President Donald Trump soon be dying. He's always lying and instigating people to be fighting. I'm prophesying that Trump fall dead for backbiting. Trump's people sighing when he fall dead. I'm visualizing. Keep on teaching hatred, leaders with no patience, mad corrupt intentions. Cops keep killing black men, corporate media fighting, most of the time in lying. Donald Trump's exciting.
Classist, racist, blinded.
Bribed his way to
to be president. 2020 election. If Trump ain't voted president,
national emergency to say president.
I'm prophesying.
No hateful president
Can represent me.
Black people crying, murders on camera. Deceitful president.
You know what I might do for y'all?
I'm prophesying.
I might just run this music video for y'all.
President can't represent me. Ain't no denying. Second Civil War. Ain't no dead ass president
So,
gonna represent me.
for you later
Rise of
after I do my
races, loves
teaching.
our nation. We the righteous people. Hybrid narcissist forces, heartless, soulless. Those Trumps no good people. Righteous migrant forces, join black forces. Yo, cause we all equal. Righteous white and Jew forces, man your horses. And help us fight Trump's people. This prophesying that dumb Donald Trump soon be dying. His people lying and instigating masses to be fighting and dying. Cops are inciting, oppressed they kill to uprising. Trump's people divided, some will kill him dead. I'm prophesying. A divided nation falls a corrupt nation. It's all in a timing.
So yeah, that's my song, Prophecy, by me, David Dimitri. It's not new. The song was dropped in the year 2020, and so was the music video. You could check the music video and hear the song on all platforms, Spotify, Apple. You can find me, David Dimitri, find my artist page on Apple and on Spotify, etc. And also you can find the song Prophecy there, and you can also find the music video at David Dimitri live in color on YouTube.com. That's right, but you know I'm still gonna do something for y'all because I can. What I'm gonna do is later on, I'm about to do what I'm supposed to do, but later on I'm gonna go ahead and drop the music video for y'all so y'all can. It's an actual short film. It's a short film. I don't just make music videos. I make little short films. You know, I had to capture the time because it's not always time. All that stuff was going on with George Floyd, Black Lives Matter. It was a lot of stuff going on. All the MAGA stuff was jumping off. So I had to capture the times because I'm an artist. You know what I'm saying? And before it was called influencer, but that's what I do. I've been a music artist since the 80s. Since the 1980s. I was a child rapper. I was a child music artist. And that's, some of us didn't get famous for what we did, but we know and run around famous people. We grew up around them and got talent. You see what I'm saying? You just got to capture times like that. And that's why I made that song. You know what I'm saying? But let's get into what I'm supposed to be teaching about. So let's get into this. I want to bring some positive spiritual knowledge to y'all because you more than deserve it. And you have to know we all in this life, and every day and every night it's a challenge to believe in yourself. You have to believe in yourself. This is a huge challenge for all of us. It's because situations call for you to do that in different ways. You see where I'm coming from? And that's the reality of like the challenges that we face. So I want to share some stuff with y'all, and we're gonna start right here.
So if you want to prosper and be successful in life, first of all, reject the idea of poverty. Reject all negative self-definitions. As a man thinks in his heart.
This brother be rocking. This brother be bringing some deep, but fun in a positive way. It's like not everybody can kick knowledge that directly values you and kick that knowledge in a positive manner, not just inspirational, but invigorating. Not just invigorating, but inspirational. So it's informing you, putting you on. So that's what I'm gonna drop for y'all. Just
So if you want to prosper and be successful in life, first of all, reject the idea of poverty. Reject all negative self-definitions. As a man thinks in his heart, so is he. The Bible says, let the weak say, I am strong. Why? Because whatever you say you are, you will become that. Whatever you say you are, you will remain that. It follows that if you want to be successful and prosperous, let the poor say what? I am prosperous. I am successful.
All right. So, yeah, I'm grateful that I could bring that vision, that visual, that knowledge to you from the most gracious Pastor Bishop, resting in power and his great knowledge. And it's very important that you believe in yourself, and that's what this whole talk is about. I'm going to touch on a lot of shit going on in society right now, the current events, blah, 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 blah. But I'm also going to drop the jewels on how it all applies to you believing in yourself, because believing in yourself, I believe in myself, that's not how belief in yourself works. It's just like they say, you know, once you can ride a bike, you can. That's bullshit. You're not riding that bike no more. You're just living. Actually riding a bike is doing something new on it. And that's why if you go to PrimeUp, INTL.com, that's my other website, DavidDimitri.com, as you see on the screen. Excuse me, hold on a second. Okay, so we have some people outdoors working on something, and they're working on some telecommunication things here, and they're causing a weird noise. I don't know if y'all hear it, but I do, and it keeps sounding off. But anyway, what I was saying is believing in yourself. Everything I show you, I'm about to do a lot of different videos, and they're not just going to be spiritual. It's going to be in the current events, and it's World War III that we're facing. It's going to be opportunities with finance, and also the could be downfall of the economic system. It's going to be our spiritual realities that we deal with. All of us, universal, that we all deal with. But what I want y'all to realize is it all comes back to, do you believe in yourself? Because if Muhammad Ali had gave up in those fights, you know what I'm saying? You wouldn't have been feeling Muhammad Ali. He wouldn't have meant nothing to you. Muhammad Ali couldn't just believe in himself in the first round, second round, 15th round. He had to believe in himself in many multiple different ways. And that's what I'm telling you out of my own mouth, not just these videos I'm going to show you. You got to come up with new ways to believe in yourself. It's just like you got to be creative and problem solving, creative and opportunity creation, not just hope and wish. And that's what we're about to go into. So let's go into some more.
Believe that you can be and do and have the goods you desire. You will never get any further in life than your belief about yourself. And let me stop here for a moment. You know what the trouble with many people is? A lot of you are troubled and are having problems because you're upset about what other people think about you. I'm going to have to upset you a bit right here and use an emphatic word which may not become a clergyman on national TV. But please listen. You are not going to get anywhere in life, spiritually or otherwise, until you come to that point where you don't give a damn what people think about you.
All right. So that's the question. That begs a question. What is it that you give a damn about? Are you You know how much energy it takes to worry about what somebody's mind is thinking? And then you have people that put peer pressure on you in spur of the moments. You're walking in a store, you're dealing with who knows what. Mother just passed away. They need you to smile at them and speak to them. Ew, look at their attitude and come up with all kind of things. And so then you have competitors that are known competitors. Their business is trying to beat your business. They're trying to get the inheritance. So they want the money for themselves. You're willing to share. All kind of situations can pop up. But do you believe in yourself? How can you be believing in yourself truly if you're so worried about other people? And that's why life is based off of getting used to stuff. Success is, you got to get used to stuff. You got to go in there and lose. You got to get rejected, turned down. These great actors and actresses, you don't know the process they go through. You think because they already did a movie or 2 or 3 and got an award that they a shoo-in? Hell no. It's millions of actors and actresses. You know what I'm saying? You think these boxers just each time can get in there and just work? And these kickboxers and these basketball players and tennis players? No. They gotta stay used to it. They gotta stay doing that, and that's difficult. And so the same thing, you gotta see where in your specific life you're believing in yourself. So you gotta say, where is it that I'm already used to stuff? Because then you can, where it's easy to operate subconsciously, you keep those things going. You go and put your clothes in the washer, in the dryer. You put the dishes in the dishwasher. You sweep and mop the floor. These are just regular things, you know. You pay someone to clean your car. You pay people to do something for your website. You hire someone to do the video work, someone like me, and you have to deal with all of that. You want to get to the point where it's subconscious, because that's the only way that these people were so highly successful, and these people are so highly successful. Just like on Instagram right now, you have a great person that does nails. Rush my nails. Rush Emma nails. Rush Emma nails. Sounds good to me. And then we have traveling _tour _Egypt. Oh my goodness. It seems like that's the person I need to get with so I can live out my dream of going and touring the temples of Egypt. In fact, you see how that law of attraction just flowed through right there. If you look at the people right there, and those of you that's on my Instagram, because I am on Facebook also, David Dimitri Johnson on Facebook. I'm live streaming there. We have Liam Delay right here. Liam from Britain. Liam right there on the Facebook from Britain. Yeah, what up, Liam? It's love every time. Liam is in the house. His brother is an entrepreneur, business plan, and father, and he's got subconsciously, just like a lot of you are subconsciously used to what you're used to, being a mother, being a grandmother, and yada yada. But you got to change your habits to be able to create new avenues of being used to new things. I was very insecure about live streaming. I hadn't live streamed since I was in Washington, D.C. I used to be on Ustream back in the days. I had the subscription and all that, you know what I mean? I was using Zoom way back. And, I stopped. Things happen, blah, 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 blah. But you want to get started, I got to do the learning curve. I got to get used to this. So you literally got to start getting used to believing in yourself. And that's the main point of this talk. You don't just believe in yourself, and you don't just believe in yourself. It's not static. Believing in yourself is a process. Believing in yourself is like a process, and it's on different levels, and it's happening in multitudes at once. It's almost quantum physical, but it's not. It's metaphysical, but it is quantum physical, because nothing happens in the physical realm, the first, second, and third and fourth dimensions, unless first it happens in the invisible realm, which is the quantum, correct? So we're looking at how this mother, Tony C. NGH722 on my Instagram. As a mother, as a friend, as a business partner, you know what I'm saying, as a competitor, how do you subconsciously, what do you got to get used to pull that off, to succeed in that? And you see, these are the things that we don't really rationalize in words because we're too busy performing. But what I'm suggesting is you got to be able to tone down certain things so that you don't do it no more. Like Instagram has soft porn. And so you, as a man, I fell into it. It's easy. I'm an athletic man. I'm a very testosterone, aggressive man. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's easy to fall into looking at things that wasn't always easily available to you. It's still porn, whether it's butt naked or not. And so it's like, you got to see this is keeping you from other things that you're supposed to be doing. And it didn't take long for me to say, hey, man, you sitting up here watching violent sports all the time. You could call it boxing or whatever you want to call it. And I got a little boxing heads up coming on here. We're going to talk a little bit about the Bivol Beiterbiev. What's up, Liam, with the Bivol Beiterbiev, the greatest fight this whole year in boxing, Bivol versus Beiterbiev, the two Russian titans at the light heavyweight will be, and how to facing off. The two greatest boxers in light heavyweight to finally unify the title in 2024 in a next week on Saturday, the biggest boxing match in boxing since Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford is happening. But what do they believe in themselves? It's going to be who subconsciously is so rooted in their self in performing that even though they're performing against someone that's so different than everyone else, it's like they're gonna nullify each other because one is a boxer, the other one a pure boxer, the other one is like a brute, super powerful hitter, and he's a good enough boxer. And that's the thing that we're discussing today. So I'm gonna go into different things going on in the world. We're gonna talk about how you believing in yourself. And like I keep saying, all of you here, believing in yourself is not, oh, I just believe in myself, or I read a book about that, I know about that. No, you actually need coaching on believing in yourself, because just like these great athletes, they got coaches. Even though they've won all the Grand Tour champions, they still need a coach. We don't believe we need a coach. We don't. And we try to say, God, no, God is us inside ourselves. So we need another person to coach us in different things that we're going to endeavor in. And then you need an accountability coach. Accountability coaches is something I do. Like I said, my website, Prime Up International, Prime Up, INTL.com. Prime Up, PRIMEUP, INTL.com. You go to that website, you contact me, whether you go on DavidDimitri.com or not, and then we get you accountability coaching and we help you. And it don't matter where you are, we can video chat, personal accountability coaching and accountability relationships. And so what it helps you do, and we provide all kind of media help and blah, 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 right? Because you need to believe in yourself. Mike Tyson had terrible days. Serena Williams and Venus Williams had to wake up feeling bad. And they had to go out there and play against the most vicious, ruthless players in tennis history. And they had to beat them feeling their worst. We don't want to believe that. And so there's great achievements you can do, whether you 50, 60, 70, 40, whether you've been to prison, whether you've been homeless, whether you've been a liar. You can get with an accountability coach. You can learn how to stop lying. Whether you've been a manizer or a womanizer, you can learn how to stop doing that. You cannot live in shame. You cannot continue in shame. You deserve better than that. I'm sorry, whatever you did, if it's that bad that you're still going through that remorse, regret, remorse, it's part of your healing. I get it. But people need you. And if you're out doing for people, that means you're better in yourself. It becomes subconscious because you're believing in yourself. Even though you might not feel that reward, joy, and happiness in your heart yet, because you still got regretters, remorse, because of whatever wrong you did to whoever. Even if it was just to yourself, you have to not live in shame. And so this is all part of believing in yourself. Let's get back to the videos, y'all. I'm grateful that you're here. And remember, you can call in 909-446-2388. Believe in yourself. Show me you believe in yourself. Call in. Now, we're going to go into so I want to show you a little bit about believing in yourself, everybody. This is important.
On October 12th,
You have to believe.
the boxing world will witness a showdown as Artur Beiterbiev and Dmitry Bivol collide for the undisputed light heavyweight championship. This long-anticipated clash between two undefeated champions has fans naturally buzzing with excitement. Originally scheduled for earlier in the year, the bout was postponed due to Beiterbiev suffering a knee injury, but now both fighters are ready to step in the ring and stake their claim as king of the 175-pound division. But it's also the clash of styles that makes the idea of this fight so captivating. The technical aggression and raw destructive power of Beiterbiev against the technical traditional Soviet mastery, punch flurries and defensive brilliance of Dmitry Bivol. You could argue it's a classic matchup of styles, power versus precision, aggression versus discipline, and brute force versus finesse. As the boxing world gears up for this epic battle, let's delve into the strengths, weaknesses and tactical approaches each fighter must employ if they want victory.
Okay, so yeah, those two guys are the guys. And it's a huge deal whether you're a boxing fan or not, because martial arts, any combat sport, is a very important thing to realize that how to believe in yourself to succeed. Because it brings you back to the most primal part of yourself. Which is just pure survival. But then it makes you realize, hold on, there's a total skill set, a genius to this. It's Bruce Lee Dragon High Priest level to this. But they present it to you as if it's just the brutest, stupidest thing going on in the world. But it's not true. It's not true at all. It's very delicate to look at any actual physical sport. And it requires a very astute focus and devotion. You see what I'm saying? And this is very much important to realize about yourself and whatever you're going through and whoever you are. I'm just, right now, if you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm sending out some, letting people know, because I didn't have time to put out that I was live streaming, but there is a video on Instagram. I only put it 20 minutes before I got on, which is just ridiculous. We know that. But, so yeah, 909-446-2388. That's the number to call in. Let's go more into it. I had to show you guys that video. I had to show you that video because it's part of what I'm building up to reveal to you.
On October 12th, the boxing world will win.
So, in understanding that you have different sides to yourself, and you've lived, and we have the sisters, all these beautiful sisters right here on the Instagram. I'm thankful for y'all right there on Facebook, the great ones right here on Facebook tuning in. Gratitudes. I am enthused. We have the sister Mac Marcon, Janae Marcon _ Jenny. This sister is beautiful and very brilliant and enlightening. And I look forward to chopping it up about this spiritual quest that we're all on. in this spiritual enlightenment experience that we want to bring to this world, because we want the world to be in a golden age, right? Well, today, the reason why I'm focused, I am dealing with the affairs going on in the world. We're going to get there. I got some very important stuff for you, but I just have to show you and let you know I am here for you. And that's why I'm talking about believing in yourself. You have to believe in thyself, and believing in yourself isn't a moment. It isn't reading a book. It's a challenge as much as all what make people love Muhammad Ali and all these and Serena Williams and Usain Bolt and all these greats is that they kept it going. You got to understand they're human beings just like the rest of us. So it's like bad days, bad seasons, heartbreaks, voids, loneliness. Even though you're surrounded by thousands of people and everybody smiling and yelling and happy to see you, you're still feeling lonely. You going through a heartbreak. You don't want to. You feeling so. You want to stay there with your wife or your husband, but you got to go train. You got to go travel. Barack Obama could hardly see Michelle Obama. Michelle Obama couldn't see him. You got to believe in yourself at night, not just day. You got to believe in yourself when someone's pressuring you, like this ain't the right person for you, but they stalking you, they putting pressure on you. You got to reject them. You got to, even though you're not for sure, your heart is telling you this is the right person, but your mind is full of egomania. You got to put that ego to the side and have faith and move forward and quit red flagging. Red flagging is a form of self-sabotage. You know what I mean? We got to believe in ourselves moment to moment, day by day. You're giving blessings to everybody that will come in. We got more people on the Instagram. We got Gray's wet pants. Gray's wet pants. Blessed love is love every time. Benevolence. You on David Dimitri live in color, and we're energized up. We're bringing knowledge and knowledge to truth. It's a saying called bringing knowledge to truth. You know what I mean? And then you want to bring truth to wisdom. So you bring knowledge to truth and truth to wisdom, and that's how it goes. So we got to deal with the politics going on in the world. And how does that apply to believing in yourself? We just talked about how believing in yourself on your everyday. We talked about doing dishes, running, doing the home thing, but then having to drive. You don't just want to be subconscious. You want a conscious competence. You want a conscious awareness of what you're doing, because sometimes you just keep going because you got to back to back deadlines. Got to be here, got to be here, got to do this. And then the things that you want to do, you're squeezing in, before you know, you're just going. And sometimes if you stop and don't do nothing, and ignore your mind, ignore your thoughts, and just breathe, something's going to come to you that you forgot. Something's going to come to you that you really want to do. Something's going to come to you, that idea that you forgot is going to come back to you. That piece to your puzzle is going to come back to you when you just... You see how he got silent? And you just let it come to you. You need a lot of that. I'm not talking about... No, I'm talking about in the middle of the day, wherever you're at. Stop. You stop. Let everything else be the illusion it is. Let the matrix be what it is. But you stop, because you got to believe in yourself. How can you believe in yourself if you don't invest in yourself? How can you believe in yourself if you don't invest in yourself? You see where I'm coming from? Look at all the stuff going on with the election. Look at all the stuff going on in our world right now. You see what I'm saying? Let me share something with y'all. Let me share. It's a reason why I'm sharing all this, because we need to realize.
About to show you in just a matter of seconds. You're just under Trump's spell. You're just following a cult. Because there is no sane, logical, rational reason to justify that vote. Or maybe you just hate Kamala because she's a female, because she was a prosecutor. But even what you're going to see now, even those things don't justify what you are about to see. And the best part of this is it comes straight from Trump himself. Let's look at this. Now, what Trump did was he created a Project 2025 list for Kamala because he got pummeled. After folks found out about the Project 2025 list that he has in place to implement if he gets elected, so now that so teed him off and rubbed him wrong, so he created a list, a Project 2025 list for Kamala. And this list tells you everything you need to know about what he intends to do for black people and what Kamala intends to do for black people. And the first thing I want you to see here, the first thing is if you go down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the sixth item on this list, he says that Kamala's Project 2025 includes taxpayer-funded reparations. She supports taxpayer-funded reparations. So there he tells you that Kamala is for reparations. Where does he get that from? He gets it from Kamala because she has said so many times. In many interviews, she has said so. And he knows that that is one.
There's a reason why I just showed y'all that. That wasn't not by design. That was by design. That was by design. Who is that man? That's going to be the question. Why should you believe him? Why should you believe anybody? We're all polarized over the elections. We're polarized. None of us want to admit it. We're polarized. We're disappointed. We're seeing World War III manifesting in front of our eyes and hoping that the violence doesn't get to the United States, which is already a violent society. So he just gave a case of where he is speaking to a specific group of people, the African Americans, about the elections and who they should believe. And yeah, Liam, me too. I think Bivol is gonna run circles around him, but he can get hurt real quick fighting that dude, Beiterbiev. Trust me, I had to fight people like that. They crushing blows, bro. It take a lot out of you. But back to what I was saying, the man in the video was giving a very good case of why African Americans should vote for Kamala Harris. A very good case. And then he mentioned his competition who are out there giving good cases of why African Americans should not vote for Kamala Harris and in fact should vote for Donald Trump. And so the reason why I'm bringing this up because it's a big polarized thing going on. Anybody that's African American would know what's going on in the community right now. Yo, peace, the real DOC. What up? Peace, bless. Yeah, we bringing wisdom, knowledge to truth. That's what we're doing. But we're dealing with believing in yourself, which is not a moment-to-moment thing. Your belief in yourself is challenged in different ways within the process of every day and every night. Believing in yourself, as the video I just showed with the brother giving a compelling case of why African Americans specifically should vote for Kamala Harris, pointing out the different things wrong with Donald Trump and things right with Harris, even mentioning some things that are wrong with Harris, but weighing them and saying, hey, we need to vote for her. And my whole point is with this is to psycho-spiritually arm you, like Ephesians chapter 6 in the Bible. If any of you been influenced with Christianity or are Christian, that's where it speaks of putting on the armor of God. You know what I'm saying? And not let the fools, the haters, not let the sabotagers bring static. know what I'm saying, to your energy field. And so my point is, the only reason that brother is speaking the way he's speaking, I respect what he's saying, and he compelled me, because I'm a hard case to win. I'm a political atheist. I have a book, it's coming out. It's called The Art of Political Atheism. It'll be out very soon. And if y'all don't know, this is my book, Outline to Empower. Look how thick it is. This is my book, Outline to Empower: How to Do and What to Know for Evolutionary Living. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a multiple time author. I've been around for a while. I'm an educated man. I've studied on 3 continents. And I'm telling you, I have a political science degree in an intelligence program and worked for the government for years globally. And the U.S. government, obviously I'm an American, but I studied at the Nelson Mandela Metropolitan University in South Africa, and I got a political economy degree over there, and I have studied and got certified in international mediation and conflict management for international humanitarian law, if you know what that is. So I've been around, I know and that's why I'm bringing up this politics thing, because it's a necessity right now for us to get armed, believe in ourselves, and sometimes we're challenged. And what I'm talking about is this polarization. It challenges your belief in yourself. And then it's the biochemical responses you have in your physical, because all chemicals are basically reflections or manifestations of light. All it is manifestations of light. All physicals are. And so to realize this, these chemicals are responses to light vibrations. And then we have projections. We're polarized. Who should we vote for? Then we get polarized when people are talking about they're for Harris because of this. They're for Trump because of this. All these different things polarizing, and then we mad because we don't like that the nation of Israel is bombing all these people, and we don't like that these people bombed Israel. And we mad because we don't like that the Haitians are suffering in Haiti and the Congolese are suffering, and that the Europeans were the root of it. So we're mad over race issues, and then we're mad because we grew up in poverty. We're mad because our friends ended up betraying us or leaving us behind, you know. And then we have the issue with all these opportunities with the technology and all these issues and opportunities in life. And what they're doing is the fear of missing out. The fear of missing out. And it's really, all this is really fucking everybody up. Excuse my language. If you can't handle it, it's not my fault. I come as I am. But it's really playing everybody. It's fucking all of us, our north central pole up. It's called your north central pole. That's your nervous system. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm not a sucker MC. I see through this shit. I understood a long time ago I had to learn metaphysics. I didn't even know what that word was, but I'm a lover of knowledge. Why? Because I have soul consciousness over ego consciousness, because we are polarized. We are in a world of contention. The world is in contention, so our specific lives are in contention. Red flagging won't do it. Red flagging has sabotaged specifically melanoids or black people for the last 10 years. That was the worst trend that happened to black people over the last 10 years. Regardless of what country you're from, regardless of your background, that was the stupidest shit. To start seeing bad in each other all the time. That's the to think highly of yourself because you can think negative of someone else and not be smart enough to realize that dumbass red flagging, that's an 11-year-old, 12-year-old thing. You got 50, 60-year-old people playing that stupid game, missing out on the greatest opportunities in life. Don't be weak. You have to believe in yourself. So in believing in yourself, you're not ego driven. You're not egomaniac. Defending is an ego thing. Lust is an ego thing. That's right, self-defense is actually ego thing. You're only supposed to self-defend when necessary. But to be creative, you have to be open and vulnerable and creative and happy and sharing. You can't be zero sum. You can't be win lose. You have to be win win. You have to believe in yourself. We're redefining what believing in ourselves is right now, because we're that valuable. We're that valuable. We can do this together, and in doing so, we're paving a way, not only for the future generations, but we all reincarnate. We're paving a way for ourselves in that future reincarnation. That's the level of belief in myself every night and day with a conscious competence. How about you? This is why you go to daviddimitri.com and you contact me. This is why you got to prime up INTL.com and you contact me. Lovers Go is in the place to be. Gratitude. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, all y'all showing up, this is for you. And so I just shared about believing in yourself on different levels. I showed you these athletes, Muhammad Ali, and now you got this big challenge coming up with Beiterbiev versus Bivol, light heavyweight match for title unification, undisputed. The first time since Roy Jones did it. And by the way, both of them would have lost to Roy Jones. But anyway, so this is the discussion. Anybody new in here, we're talking about believing in yourself. I'm bringing knowledge to truth and truth to wisdom, because that's what I do. Bringing knowledge to truth and truth to wisdom, because word is born and word is life. Vibrations. So it's soul consciousness over ego consciousness. We're soul consciousness over ego consciousness. You don't just believe in yourself because you read a book or because you heard me talk about it and you see these 9,000 YouTube videos talking about believing in yourself, because you've seen the pastor talk about it, and you've seen the Muslim talk about it, and you've seen Muhammad Ali mention it and all that. That's not believing in yourself. That's just seeds to help. That's watering. The seed is already there. That's water, but you got them do it. So believing in yourself is moment to moment, situation to situation. You better push them brakes or you're gonna hit that car in front of you because they just smashed on their brakes. You gotta believe it. You can't panic and swerve the wheel. You gotta push the brake enough, and then you gotta be looking in that rear view mirror to make sure you don't push the brake too much, stop too quick, that they gonna hit the back of your car, because you don't have time for that, because you already stressed out and you need to get to the doctor because blah blah blah. And then you need to go get the kid, the child, or your doggy, or whatever it is. The people at work are depending on you. The world, you're gonna save the world. You can't get in a car accident. You gotta save the world. So, or you gotta go get your ice cream, or you gotta go get your blunt, or you gotta go get your wine. It don't matter. Do you believe in yourself? It's a challenge moment to moment. This gotta be the vocabulary in your mind. You gotta be an MC, you gotta be a rapper, you gotta be like Nasty Nas and Lauryn Hill. You gotta be like Tupac, you gotta be a poet, you gotta have vocabulary. And that's what I'm talking about believing in yourself. I just showed you the boxers and how and athletes have to believe in themselves. Before that, I gave you the videos about the law of attraction and the law of assumption, you know what I'm saying? And not giving a damn about what other people think of you, because you know for sure you believe that you are the positive one, even though then you're not saying to yourself they're negative. You just know you have your own special uniqueness. And that is what this is about. So in regards to these trying times with these elections and stuff and this World War III, you need to know this, y'all. We gotta beat the polarization being dumb, trying to dumb us down and force us to ignorance.
But between 1946 and 2000, America is documented to have interfered with, tampered with, malignly influenced, or outright rigged at least 88 elections from Europe to Latin America to Asia to Africa. So again, if you think that they'll do this everywhere else, but your so-called democracy is pristine, I would have to ask you why you think so. Why would it be more important to the power structure to control the outcome of an election in, say, Guyana than it would be for them to control the outcome of an election in the United States of America? Because yes, Guyana is one of the countries where America rigged elections in the past. I'm telling you, I don't care who you vote for, because power doesn't care who you vote for, because the outcome is not determined by you. You know, Biden stepped aside because his pre-programmed victory could never be convincing. But look, Biden himself, the fact of Biden, a man who was literally in late-stage senility, a man who is visibly disintegrating before our eyes, the very fact that he was not only president, but was absolutely going to be run for another term, despite being a cadaver on strings, that should let you know that power does not reside in that office. Politicians serve two functions. The first is to distract you with the performance of democratic government, and the second is to be effigies that can be burned to satisfy public anger when the policies dictated by the private sector impose misery on the population. So when an American asks me who should they vote for, or when they say that this one is better than that one, or at least not as bad as that one, and what do I think, and so on and so on and so on, well, you may as well be asking me about which Marvel superhero is better than the other, because you're not talking to me about figures who have any real significance with regards to policy. You're not talking to me about figures who actually exert any control over anything. You're not talking about the real existing power structure. You're asking me to give you an opinion about a fictional scenario in which your government wields independent power. As long as you're fixated on this charade, there's no danger whatsoever of you ever having any impact on policy. You're just facilitating and collaborating with the divide and conquer tactics of the owners and controllers of global financialized capital. And I don't know how you can be so propagandized, to be honest. I don't know how you can be so propagandized that you can't even notice that actually your own media does tell you every day that the government is not in charge. I mean, how many times have you read, or how many times have you heard in the media, the market will decide? We'll have to see what the market does, and so on. But when they say the market, they don't mean you and I. They mean big business, multinational corporations, asset managers, stock market whales, not voters, not citizens, not Democrats, and not Republicans. You live in an oligarchy, and your so-called democracy is only performed as a distraction to keep you from noticing that fact.
Why does that man believe in himself so much? He looks totally conservative, so greatly spoken, debonair, beyond just an intellectual, sincere, heartfelt. That's my question. Why does he believe in himself so much? Okay, so the question was, why did he believe in himself so much? But I also want to ask you, have you ever compared your own self-belief to anyone else? I know that knowledge he just dropped was very deep and helpful to you. I am aware of that. But I also am aware that I have an agenda right here and I want to help. Have you ever with a conscious competence, compared your self-belief to another in circumstances and situations? Has it even came to your mind? Like, how does your self-belief, I didn't say confidence, I'm not saying how much you confide in yourself. That's only part of self-belief. Self-belief from multiple things. And you learn this. You learn all these. You learn all this in my book. I have a whole regime in this book. How outline to empower. How to do and what to know for evolutionary living. That man believed in himself and what he was saying completely. He spoke from his heart, not just his mind. And he spoke truth to power. And I know you resonated with what he said. I know you probably saw or heard from him before. I like to show sources. I don't like to try to play like I'm the source. There's more to this than meets the eyes. So, in believing in himself, time and time again, he keeps showing up to these interviews and he's able to get deep on different levels. Yet at the same time, any of us that have been hearing this man speak, somehow it all ties together as one. That's what your different circumstances that challenge you to show your belief in yourself is doing. And that's how it's seeming to the spiritual forces observing you. Whether you call them your ancestors, your angels, you know what I'm saying, your Orisha, your Neteru, your Abosom, your Vundun, your ancient ones, your Emolis are known as immortals. It doesn't, your goddesses, the gods, the one God, it doesn't matter. It responds the same because you are the same. And we are all one, the same. And so all these videos, we have to ask ourselves, how does this apply to believing in myself? Because each video is about something different. And we are polarized by this election season. Give you a governor election locally in your state, you'll be polarized. On the local news, the local people at your job, this and this, because the governors and mayors are going on. And that's when you find yourself involved. You should be polarized. You should be competitive. You need resources. That's what that's about. I commend you. Although I am the author of The Art of Political Atheism, the book that will be out by January or February. I will be explaining and giving the dictates and principles of the art of political atheism and how to apply it for your benefit if you're in poverty, middle class, and regardless, but especially if you're born African American or ethnic. Of course, we need to go up with culture capital. We need upward mobility in society. So that's what the point of that book is. Political atheism is the only way going forward for us. But back to what I was saying, I can say what I just said, and I wrote the book, The Art of Political Atheism. I wrote the book, Outline to Empower, how to do and what to know for evolutionary living, because I believed in myself. Do you know the hell I was going through? And that's why when you get further on in the book, it's talking about the things I was going through while writing the book. Because that's how we're in a world that is in contention. Our lives are in contention. And so we have to take a grip. Benevolent Sister Delphi Priestess is vibrating with us. Gratitude. It's love every time. Yeah, we're all live in color. So we're talking about believing in yourself in different circumstances and different challenges. And I'm sharing a lot of videos, a lot of sources. And let me share something else with you. I just shared the man explaining how the elections are fake in a nation-state experiment, but especially in the United States. And, let's talk more. Let me share something else.
My critique, and maybe the critique of others who criticize the West, is that I don't really differentiate between colonization and imperialism and racism and white supremacy, feudalism, neo-capitalism, and so on. I don't differentiate these things from each other, and I don't differentiate these things from the culture and the character of the West itself. All of these things are manifestations of Western character. That's what drives these policies and these practices and these ideas. They're all just versions of each other. For instance, the same colonizer mentality is actually applied across every arena in the West. The mentality of exploitation of others' resources and the dehumanization and subjugation of those whose resources they are, while feeling completely entitled. You see this across every sector in the West. And it doesn't matter if you're talking about minerals or precious metals or gems or crops or what have you, or if you're talking about labor, or if you're talking about talent and creativity. These are all natural resources. And it doesn't matter if you're talking about these resources being in another country or being in your own country. The point is, they're not your resources, and you exploit and pillage and profit from them. And you marginalize and subordinate the actual owners of the resources. So, I mean, look at America. Whatever unique cultural contribution that's come from America, it's come from the poor, from the underclass, from African Americans, from poor whites, from immigrants, and so on. From gospel music to blues music to R&B, to jazz, rap, and hip hop, and so on. And then on the other side of the coin, bluegrass, country music, rockabilly, rock and roll, and so on. All of these things came from the poor, from the working class. And from John Steinbeck to James Baldwin, your best writers all emerged from poverty and deprivation. Historically, the same goes for most of your acclaimed athletes, your entertainers, and your performers. And then your style and fashion and slang and everything. Creativity has always come from the poor. The rich mine the resources of their talent, the same way that they would mine copper or lithium or gold, and then profit from it, enrich themselves, and claim it and act like it's part of their own greatness. You claim these talents and creativity as American, but the people themselves, whose talent and creativity it was, were all people from a people whom America abused and treated like nothing. They came from people who your society and your system treats as if they have nothing to contribute. Yet their contributions are the only things that gave you any kind of culture at all. They don't represent America.
All right. So, culture vultures on the highest, most detrimental level. Can you imagine that that's what we're up against? We're up against that. They're telling us that voting is all we have that we can do. And being artists and trying to start businesses and trying to limiting our experiences, limiting our self-definition, limiting our potential. They blocked off going out into nature. You can only go into certain parts of nature, and then they charge you for it. And then they charge you even further. They find something that you did out there in nature that they don't like, and they say you broke a law, and now they're charging you more, even your time, and putting you in cuffs and in a jail. They are instigating wars and destruction right now globally. And that's who he was speaking of, those they, for like the movie They Live. So, you know, on that note, how can I still believe in myself? I didn't play that to dwell on that. You know, I played that to ask the question. Are we still believing in ourselves? Although we're faced with such ruthless diversions in a world where everything's set up for us to fail. Because disappointment is always experienced, but yet excuses, don't have excuses. Your feelings don't matter. We all go through it, suffer with grace. Wait, what's the escape? How? Isn't there a way out? Or isn't there a way to abide in this without suffering? This is not even questioned. It's not asked, at the most by some artists that aren't paid to create rubbish, garbage ass songs to sell to masses who haven't even got a chance but to have and like garbage ass songs, garbage as artists. And it's just that there's so much greatness going on in life, but how do we attain that? That comes from believing in yourself, being in that now. Like I was saying, instead of like, watch this. Look how bright I am and how I look now. Now look at me. You see, look at the difference. It feels gloomy now, right? But what if I feel more intensely vigorated and humorous under these conditions? But under these conditions, I feel more bogged down, less time to myself, less energized, less free, more defined by circumstances and others. This is what they say you have to be if you want the money. If you want the money, you have to have this life. But if you love yourself and believe in yourself, in living your life where you're low-key escaping the drama, the emotional torment, and so that's why you're not in an emotional wreck, and then you're living a life where you're growing and getting great psycho-spiritual experiences in the spatio-temporal zones of which you dwell and travel. That's the solution. The solution isn't seeming brighter, but inwardly suffering. The solution is whether it's bright or whether it's dark seeming to other people's minds, bright to dark seeming. They see you coming to the party, the mall, the business, the corporate environment, the field, the court. It doesn't matter. They see you as this. Things must be dark and gloomy. Look at that nappy hair. Look at that big old wild looking beard. He must be broke and suffering. But if I had to fade with the haircut and sprayed on some Puff Daddy oil on my skin, and you see where I'm coming from? But inwardly, I can't define myself. I can't go out to nature and experience life on my own. I can't create a creative agenda. I can't believe in what I want to believe in. I can't make friends with who I want to make friends with. I'm not really a friend of my own because I don't really believe in myself. But while they're seeing me as this, I have all those great attributes and all that great experience in life. You see, this is what we do to them that see us as this, dark and shaded. That's their problem, their weakness, their sadness. Do they have a conscious competence when it comes to believing in themselves? This is the question, because you do. You got to believe in your handsomeness and believe in your beauty, believe in your sexiness, and believe in your extrasensory perception abilities. You have to believe in your extrasensory perception capabilities. You're having those dreams, and did you know those dreams you're having? That's not dreams about you. Sometimes that's dreams about your homeboy, and you're seeing exactly what they're going through, and in a dream, you're them experiencing it. Call them. Sit back and say, hey, I think that's my sister. That dream was about my sister. It's just that I played her part in the dream. And this is what's going to end up happening to her if I don't call her and tell them. And call them and tell them. Even if you have to forgive them. At least to prove to yourself that you have that extrasensory perception ability. They want us to be worrying about punk ass P. Diddy. Punk ass P. Diddy and Quincy Jones, I will keep telling y'all, who had Tupac Shakur killed. I worked for Sony and Def Jam West for years. I was in the game at parties. We had beef with people. I was a gangster and it wasn't no game. And people like Puff Daddy and then we had cold blown beef with some of his people because we was West Coast. But I actually worked for an East Coast outfit. So I wasn't necessarily tripping off that. It was just people tripping on me. And so my point is, look at how much Tupac believed in himself, rivaled by Puff Daddy's belief. They equally believed in themselves through all those challenges and opportunities. Neither was believing in himself less or more. It's just that one did more of a beneficial, altruistic thing with his powers. The other one did destructive, selfish zero-sum game, win-lose. Tupac was win-win. And so we believe in ourselves when others, we go around and sometimes racism exists. You know, you go to a place where there's predominantly white people and you're the black. Not only you're not their type of black. You got dreadlocks, not tapered, nice looking locks. You got wild beard lock, all that. You got a head wrap, sister, you know, and you got some indigenous colors on. So you're shining more brighter. Your beauty is shining like the sun. Uh-oh, there goes jealousy. Uh-oh, there goes envy. But isn't it strange how their friends and relatives are looking at you with admiration while that individual and a couple of individuals are looking at you with hate? It's because of how much you believe in yourself. How dare you come around and be the only black? The rest of us are Hispanic. How dare you come around and you're Hispanic? The rest of us are white. That's just another scenario type of believing in yourself. And so, I have some different I want to share with you about believing in yourselves. Remember, you can call in at 909-446-2388. It's right there on the screen, 909-446-2388. DavidDimitri.com if you want your own personally autograph of this book, Outline to Empower, How to Do and What to Know for Evolutionary Living. And also the courses will be dropped when the book is dropped.
How do you decrease your jealousy with others? The easy technique that you can try starting today is to rejoice in other people's merits or other people's good deeds. So what that means is anytime you see someone doing good, anytime you see someone's good qualities, acknowledge that. In the beginning, it may not feel so genuine, and that's okay, and that's normal, but continuously keep practicing this. And the more that you do this over and over, slowly but surely your jealousy will decrease, and slowly and genuinely you will start to be happy for others.
Gratitude. We're all here to learn. We're all here to shine. You need to also know that you have hate. You have hate, and it's good. It's good that you have hate. You understand? You probably don't understand. It's good that you have hate. It's called divine hate. You're supposed to hate things that are wicked, things that cause win-lose, things that cause suffering. You're supposed to hate those that intent that they have everything in the world and other people suffer, that they get to make all the decisions and everybody else don't matter, gotta sit there and be brain dead. Those are them are your enemies. You have to divinely hate them. It's called divine love and divine hate. It's part of life. Gratitude to the loved one that just came in to the IG live stream. 10th letter yoga. Ooh, that's nice. I like the sound of that. 10th letter yoga. Yeah, that's deep. Gratitude, brother. Coming in with that good energy. We have Dia 214 in the place, smashing up the place. We talking about believing in yourself, y'all. We talking about, do you believe in yourself? How do you believe in yourself? How can you believe in yourself? What you should do. Don't be polarized by these elections, and don't be polarized by all these wars going on in the world. Don't be polarized over Diddy and all these celebs. Don't be addicted to polarization and going on Instagram all the damn time. You know what I'm saying? Don't be going on TikTok, all the time. You know what I mean? Getting on you see that Donald Trump, that's from TikTok. And you see that little box down there by his cheek. That boxes, that's people coming in speaking. These people are just erratically at 4 a.m, 5 a.m, 6 a.m. on their job and at home on TikTok like addicts, just straight addicts, arguing over Donald Trump or Biden and Harris. Donald Trump, Biden, Harris, just going at each other. That's an addiction. That's polarization. Their energy is not being used to believe in themselves. Watch, I'll share with you more. Watch this one. You see that one? That's the Kamala Harris one. And they sit there and just debate and argue. Debate and argue. That's an addiction. And that's just what the Matrix wants you to do. The simulator prime. Look up Simulator Prime on Facebook and you will see my face. And look how many years that Facebook book has been named Simulator Prime. That's me. I am Simulator Prime. And so this addiction, this polarization addiction is taken from your ability to believe in yourself. Completely. No matter who you are. You could be 10th letter yoga. You could be Dia214. You could be Delphi Priestess. You could be Lover Girl _LA. You could be _real _DOC. You could be Marcon _Janine. Gray sweatpants. You know what I'm saying? Travel _tour _Egypt. We all need to get with them because we need to go to Egypt. We should all go to Egypt together. You know what I'm saying? You could be anybody. You could be Tony C NNGH722. You can be Alley Cat _B. You could be Rushma Nails. Yeah, we all. And you could be Liam Delay from Britain. But we have to believe in ourselves. We cannot become slaves to these polarizations that's popping up in the day-to-day life and news. They got us mad at each other because somebody is for Israel and the Zionists and somebody else is for peace or for the Arabs or whoever you want to call them. You see, but we got to believe in ourselves. You need to be investing in yourself. You cannot believe in yourself if you don't invest in yourself. I'm telling you right now. None of us believe in ourselves if we don't invest in yourself. You cannot invest in yourself or you're continually, constantly on the same routine. And you're not pushing for something different. It don't have to be about money. You see what I'm saying? That's not what I'm talking about. And we have to believe in ourselves. Look at all this arguing and fighting going on TikTok. That's what you're seeing right there. Y'all see that? Harris is better than Trump. Trump is better than Harris. That's polarization. That's how to control human capital. You're the human capital. You know what I'm saying? You're the sex slave. And your pineal gland and your brain is the sex organ. And your nervous system is the bed of which thou lay in. And they're playing and funneling you. Early, you can't sleep but 3 hours. You wake up with intervals and you have to look in the phone. It's calling you more than your ancestors. You can't hear your ancestors, but you feel the call of the phone. You feel the call of TikTok. You feel the call of IG. You feel the call of Facebook. You feel the call of whatever it is that you into. Spotify. You know what I'm saying? Apple Music. YouTube. Daddy coming. Yeah. TY_fitness muscle. Mashing the place up. Yo. That's what you call someone that believes in himself. You know what I'm saying? Dia_Dia214 believes in herself. 10th letter yoga believes in herself. Kashi_Bay believes in himself because he invests in himself. Delphi Priestess believes in herself because she invests in herself. Do you invest in yourself or are you invested in this? You see that on the screen? Harris is better than Trump. Prove me wrong. That's just this person. By the way, y'all, I have a political science degree. You know what I'm saying? In 2 continents. In Africa, I study at the Nelson Mandela Metropolitan University. And in America, I study an intelligence program, right? And, I study international humanitarian law in Geneva and Davos and all that. But look at this. Kamala sucks. Addiction. All those little squares right there on the screen right here. That's all addiction. That's all people in their addiction. All this right here. You see what I'm saying? They all addicted to calling in and getting heard. There ain't nothing wrong with it. We should talk about it. You can call in 909-446-2388. We could talk about politics. Like I said, I'm the one that's a political scientist. I could break it down to you. You know what I'm saying? But it's all about mind control is what I'm saying. It's about human capital control. Look at this. I took these specifically off of TikTok to show you guys what's going on if you don't know already. Look at that. Live debate 2024. These are the Trumpers. right here. You see what I'm saying? This is what's going on. You know what I'm saying? But here's me. Look at that. Me and Kashif. Brother Kashif _Bay. That's him in the back rapping his fist. We used to train together. And so our brother is real fast, by the way. Real fast. I wasn't ready for his speed when we were training. But so I'm believing in myself in a different way that time. See, I'm believing in myself speaking to you and doing this live stream. But right there, you see me believing in myself in training. You see how I look like I'm not doing much? But I am. I'm getting my punches proper. I'm keeping my defense proper. And I'm getting my balance and my feet proper. I'm practicing that. I have specified because I'm believing and I'm growing my belief by practice. It's subconscious. Y'all got to get into the routine of whatever you want to do, because that's how you get good at whatever. And believing yourself is by routinely doing it. But you can't keep doing the same thing. That's what I was talking about earlier. You got to start doing different things, right? So back to the politics. Let me see, because it's time for that. Let's. I'm gonna mash the place up real quick for y'all. I'm about to mash this place up real quick. I got. So yeah. So we let's deal with this. Look at this. This is how deep we in practical World War III right now. I hope y'all realize that. I know y'all didn't study international humanitarian law, and y'all didn't probably grow up as rough as me, with people getting killed in front of you all the time and all type of stuff. But war is real, and studying international humanitarian law in Geneva and Davos, I got to see a lot of videos that were recorded at the end of World War II in Vietnam, and it's some real terrible things that happen in war, and we don't want that.
He tweeted yesterday, Israel took up the sword. Israel shall now perish by the sword. Iran today proved Israel cannot defend itself, even with the full weight of the United States behind it. Any Israeli retaliation, it will result in greater destruction until Israel is no more. And former UN Weapons Inspector Scott Ritter joins us now. Scott, good to see you.
Good to be here.
Do you believe they're manufacturing this war despite evidence to the contrary about what's actually happening right now? I mean, you see all the major networks, the propaganda machine went into overdrive yesterday, whether you were watching CNN or Fox News, they're all on the same page. And the Biden administration seems to be on the same page. Is that where we're headed?
Well, I actually think they're trying to manufacture the peace. You see, they can't be honest about what happened. What happened is that Iran hit Israel with an unprecedented level of precision violence. Israel has never been struck in this manner in its history. No nation has. No nation has absorbed 180 plus modern ballistic missiles impacting on its soil with great precision. I think, that fact right there, there's a reason why Benjamin Netanyahu's voice was shaky and his hands were shaking when he was issuing his response in the aftermath of the strike, because he knows the truth, that Iran can reach out and touch any place in Israel anytime it wants with as much violence as it wants to put on it. Iran this time struck purely military targets, and they were struck in a way not to kill people, but to send the signal of destruction. And that signal was sent. Ask any Israeli soldier that watched those Iranian missiles come in unimpeded, impacting on the most sensitive military sites in Israel. They know what the truth is. Everybody knows what the truth is. But you see, if you acknowledge that, if you acknowledge the fact that Israeli emperor has no clothes when it comes to self-defense, this creates an extremely destabilizing new reality in the Middle East, one that could prompt an escalation as Israel seeks to restore some sort of deterrence posture, a viable deterrence posture. And this might mean relying on its nuclear weapons capability. That's the last thing the United States wants. So the first thing that came.
I know y'all saw that. I hope y'all was looking at it. Because if you didn't, you could see that Israel was being lit up. Israel was being lit the fuck up. And that was military. They were hitting not civilian areas. They were following the rules. How law protects in civil war. This is the book that I got in Geneva, studying international humanitarian law. These are all the cases, the protocols, the law actually applied to many cases. And Israel has the most. They broke more laws of international humanitarian law than any state or nation on the planet. More than the United States. Here's the Geneva Conventions of August 12, 1949. Here are the protocols, the added protocols. And I also have digital forms of the other ones. I am the real deal. I also worked as a public diplomacy officer in multiple countries on multiple continents for the United States government, and am an adjunct professor. And I'm still smart enough not to give a damn what nobody think of me. And I'm going to tell you this. We are in World War III. There ain't no going back, ain't no fixing it. That's done. That's done. So that video was to show you that you need to believe in yourself. It wasn't to tell you that we're in World War III and show you that Israel's being lit up. Because they are lying to you, just like he said, to make you think that they're not. Because that's the way to keep you compliant. Therefore, they can keep you polarized. Therefore, they can keep your level of self-belief so low that all you do is walk around society either having fun, being stimulated from external things, or red flagging other human beings, looking down on other human beings, falsely accusing human beings in your mind that this or that is wrong with them. That's a lifestyle for you, and you think you love money, and you think you want something in life, and you're walking around red flagging your opportunities. Your opportunity is going to come in the form of humans. You can have the best business you want and all this. People only invest in people. If you're not their right type of person, they're not going to invest in you. Give it up. Go find the right person. But they're going to have to go through you. They're going to have to fill you out. And you sitting up practicing red flagging all the time because you don't believe in you. And you just want everything given to you. Or you just don't care. I don't give a damn. I just want to live. Either way, you're not believing in yourself. Red flagging or I just don't care. You're not believing in you. So that what you came in the world for? I don't think so. I know you're better than that. Or you wouldn't still be here. So my point is, we got all this crazy stuff going on with this election. We got these things going on with this World War III, and that's just a little bit. There's more. There's much more. Watch. But do you believe in yourself through it all? Are you scared that you're not going to be as strong enough to handle it when the shit hit the fan? How are you going to be able to handle it? What did I say about believing in yourself? It's not a thing that you just do. It's not hope. It's not wish. It's preparing. It's practicing until your practice become perfect.
I mean, yeah, it's all rigged. The banks own most major conglomerates and raise prices to force people to take on debt, and they've set up the interest rates such that people stay in debt and keep paying forever. That's why guys like me get a starting salary of $300,000 per year plus bonuses. And these rules don't apply to the rich either. You see, what the media doesn't tell people is that there's a loophole that the rich exploit to legally get out of debt without declaring bankruptcy. And regular people can use this loophole too. They just hide it from you. That's why I quit banking, because I was sick of seeing how we are ruining people's lives with this rigged system. So I figured out how I can get filthy rich by helping regular people. So far, we've helped over 105,314 regular people, last time I checked, to exploit this loophole and delete between $10,000 and $150,000 worth of debt each, allowing them to start fresh and finally put to rest that constant worry about what would happen to them and their families if they don't manage to make their next payment. If you want me and my team to help you exploit this loophole, then click the Learn More button below this video and answer a few simple questions to see if we can help you.
You didn't even need to hear all that. You just needed to hear enough of it, the beginning part of it. But you see how they believed in themselves? Somebody had to do the camera work, someone had to do this and this, that person had to sit there, somebody had to do the vocal talk, somebody had to play with the vocal to make it sound all dreary and scary. They're all believing in themselves, and then they trust themselves enough to trust other people to make what they want happen. A lot of people, they have programmed us not to work with anyone else. They have programmed us to be slaves. The first thing they taught me in 2000, I think it was 6-5, social media was just picking up, right? So what happens is, you get in a class, they barely even created this class about social media at the university. And the first thing they teach us is people are not going to know how to have relationships and work together anymore because of social media. They're not going to know how to invest in themselves or each other because of social media. And look at your own self and be honest. And when you get off of this, look at your own self and be honest. Are you comfortable enough to act like you heard someone when they asked you something? Or to see people? Does it only have to be the same type of person every time? Does the conversation have to be the same conversation? Does the goal have to be the same goal all of the time? Because we need you to believe in yourself by the time. Get to a next level of conscious competence of believing in yourself. Stop doing everything subconsciously. Just like 10th letter yoga. This person does yoga for decades, masters it. And the yoga is in his conversation with others. Yoga is in the swim. Yoga is in the cooking. Yoga is in the eating. Yoga is in the sharing and caring. Yoga is in the empathy, and yoga is in the compassion. All of those make the yoga what it is. You realize that when you delve into yoga like that. You even have karmic yoga, karma yoga. And so we need you to believe in yourself in dealing with all these different things. So watch this. Will you allow this to stop you from believing in yourself? And how will you believe in yourself in dealing with this?
وواضح المعالم لتنفيذ حل الدولتين. فالدولة الفلسطينية حق أصيل وليس نتيجة نهائية سئمنا من الانتظار وحان الوقت لتحرك جماعي جاد.
Thank you. Well, as we always said, without solving the Palestinian problem and end the suffering of our people that started with the Nakba in 1948, the region of the Middle East will continue to be struggling, unstable, insecure. I think we're proven right that it's time for State of Palestine to be established and on the ground and as fast as possible to end the misery, the insecurity, and the troubles of the Middle East. We are believers in peace and prosperity for all. We thank all countries that recognize Palestine. We also invite others to do the same. We thank the contact group Arab and Islamic countries done a terrific job to support the statehood project. We believe that the UN Security Council resolution, the United Nations General Assembly resolution 10 days ago is a very good start to end the occupation, start serious effort to establish the Palestinian state, and ensure that the whole region will live in peace and prosperity once and for all. Thank you.
Okay, so what did that have to do with believing in ourselves? We're in here discussing believing in ourselves, and now he's putting on political stuff. Okay, he's a political scientist. He studied political sciences on 3 continents. So what? What did that have to do with believing in ourselves? Escapism is eating you alive. Escapism is eroding your central nervous system and pineal gland. We have been played. We have been played in many ways. Like I even just spoke about the trend, the stupid ass trend called red flagging. That's the stupidest shit that our people came up with in the last 10 years, 15, 20 years. For us to all look down on each other. to come up with false accusations in our minds. Look at them, they're broke. You don't know what they got. Look at them, they're mean. They ain't did nothing mean to nobody. They must be gang related. You don't know nothing about they probably know somebody that I know and this and this. All red flagging. And so we would come up with an excuse why to be divided and to be the root of the division. And to still, until you heard me saying this, still be doing that dumb shit. And be 50 years old, 40 years old, 35 years old, 30 years old, 25 years old. And that's an 11-year-old thing that only temporarily happens. This is the game, the level of the head games. It's called public diplomacy. Like I said, I worked with the government being a public diplomacy agent for years on multiple continents. You have to understand what the shit that I know that's going on, how programmed people are, and how good, and the legions of them, and how they have access to the highest technology, like the NAB, the National Association for Broadcasting Conventions. When you go in there, you see all this super technology, all built to control humans' minds. Whole entire industry built on nothing but that. And we don't think we're under mind control. I don't give a fuck. All I just told you about me, I know I'm under mind control still. And I'm way out of that than you. And the best thing I can do every day and every night is to know that my central nervous system, my north central pole is being messed with at all times. Rita_Robinson80. It's nothing but love. Gratitude. We thank you. You're here. It's love, sister. Thank you for chiming in. Everybody, you are winners. 909-446-2388 is the phone number. Chime in, call in, and tell me about a case of you believing in yourself, and a case where or a case that you realize you didn't believe in yourself, and or an area in life you would like to believe in yourself. I believe you have the guts to call in. I believe you see enough value of your time that you would interact and not just be programmed. I have something else for you. Now, you heard about Saudi Arabia, and I'm proving to you why I'm doing this. I'm proving to y'all that we're in World War III. You do realize that. That's what I'm doing. Because it's going to take the deepest belief for you to survive through what's coming in the United States, let alone if you're going to, or your family that lives in those countries that's under siege. You understand? Ain't no bombs getting bombed here. The electricity ain't being blown out. The internet ain't gone out. The food is distributed. Public health is still here. Women aren't being raped. Disease isn't flowing suddenly. And so we need to be grateful. But one thing we have to do is believe in ourselves. And believing in yourself ain't just reading a book. It ain't just a moment. Just like you might learn something when you're 15, you got to relearn it when you're 25. And then you're still learning something else at the same time. And then you have to believe in yourself when you're on a basketball court. You have to believe in yourself when you're in the kitchen. You have to believe in yourself when you're putting the oil in the car. You have to believe in yourself when you creating your Wix landing page for your website to promote your book. Outline to Empower, How to Do and What to Know for Evolutionary Living. How about my song, David Dimitri Live in Color, that's coming out in November? How about that? Have you heard it yet?
Now's perfect time. Vibrate with the going glow. Enhance your shine. Prime up international. Energize your shine. Vibrate with going glow. Now's perfect time. Prime up on them. Smooth on the come up. David Dimitri is live in color. Prime up on them.
Why did I make a song like that? In that style? First of all, my style is unfathered and unmothered. I have a totally original style that I developed since I was a child. My first album was dropped in 2024. My first single was dropped in 1996. I did a tour. I even performed at the Apollo. I've been a music artist all my life. I lived with the man that played Buckwheat in the black and white series called Little Rascals. Well, I'm talking about the original series that was recorded in the 1940s, 50s. That was my goddad. I had to live with him, like my foster parent. I was at Red Fox House. I was around a lot of people growing up, man. And I'm telling y'all to believe in yourself. You see, it takes money to do these things. So I don't have a job. I hustle. I'm leaving here to go get money out of somebody because I create ways. You have to. You have to believe in yourself if you want to make it when it's World War III hitting. That's what I'm trying to show you, that y'all might not be where you need to be because shit is really going down real bad. And we need to realize it is going to touch us here. It already is. And specifically, if you're black or coming from a poorer background, it don't matter whether you're black, but if you're coming from a poorer background, but especially if you're black, shit going to be worse for you. It's going to be worse for us. So, going into a real war, not no Iraq, little squeamish, little back and forth, combat, that ain't a war. That's just an investment. This, with Iran and Russia and China, will be a fucking war. And war is written all over me. But war is not written all over you. I wouldn't wish the suffering that I suffered my whole life on y'all. But I'm telling you, you need to get ready. And the best thing you could do is get your money. Break your habits and create new habits. The only way is to believe in yourself. You need a team. And that's what I'm here for. DavidDimitri.com, PrimeUp, INTL.com. PrimeUp, INTL.com. Communicate with me. We're going to get you on some accountability teamwork. Teamwork. That's what we do. We start with that. We figure out everything everyone want to do. We get you to invest in yourself and start building everything. And you have to realize you're learning. You're growing. You're getting the experience. You're not going to get it if you do not invest. If you do not invest that energy, time, and resources into that. Nothing's going to come to you. And then when they stop giving these handouts, like social services stop giving people Social Security, they stop giving breaks, you're going to have a lot of crime. And the jobs ain't there, a lot of crime, you see. So I'm just letting you know why I'm talking about believing in yourself. You got to get with people that are successes. Like some of these people, a lot of y'all on here are successful. Everyone on here is successful in some way. But some of us are more successful in entrepreneurship and just making money and getting money out of people. Because we believe in ourselves, and we face it. Every day we get up and face it. We don't stay the same. These secrets aren't being taught and aren't given free. I'm doing it for free right now. And soon it won't be free, because when this marketing company get with me, I'm going to have a whole lot of people on here. That's why I'm going to meet with these people. And then I won't be able to talk to people like this because I have to be real brief and make sure I'm hitting the algorithm, getting the money and investment and whatnot. But I have to share this with you because it's important. Watch this. This is how deep it gets.
Episode, we reveal how Israel harms the interests of the United States and every American citizen. But first, please remember to like and subscribe to our show. Now let's get into it. If you want to defeat Israel and end its criminal occupation of Palestine, then it's critical you understand that only one demographic matters: the American voter. I mean, it really doesn't matter what Europeans, Canadians, or even Australians think about Israel, because their tax dollars don't keep the Zionist occupation afloat. At the end of the day, the only currency that matters are American taxpayer dollars, because without this constant stream of money, Israel is dead. It's finished. I mean, don't take my word for it. Here's an Israeli professor of international relations being asked whether Israel could get by without US economic and diplomatic support. He answered flatly no, saying, and I quote, "Israel cannot work alone and needs financial aid as well as backing in the international arena from some major power," end quote. He then lists reasons why China, Russia, Europe and Australia are not suitable options, leaving Israel solely dependent on US economic, diplomatic and military assistance. And he also says that were the US to take this money away, then Israel would disappear. So all we need to do is convince even a slim majority of Americans that supporting Israel financially is detrimental or harmful to themselves, their household, family, community and country. Because once a majority of Americans understand that Israel is indeed harmful to their interests, then it's game over. Because in a democracy, voters choose political candidates and parties that best serve, not deny, their own needs and wants. The good news is, American attitudes towards Palestine are changing, as reflected in these recent surveys, particularly among Democrat voters. With this chart showing that sympathies for Israel among liberal Americans falling from 35% to 11% during the past decade, and with support for Israel among conservatives falling from 82 to 67% just in the past few years alone.
U.S. public support for Israel amid Tel Aviv's relentless war on Palestine's Gaza is crumbling. A series of polls conducted by Reuters Ipsos in mid-October and again in mid-November showed that the share of Americans who believe the U.S. should support Israel had dropped from 41% to 32%.
If this trend continues, then the Democratic Party platform will be staunchly pro-Palestine and anti-Israel, and within the next presidential election cycle or two. That's just how close we are to achieving this goal. And every political scientist knows that younger generations now get it. They understand their parents and grandparents have been deceived by decades of uninterrupted Zionist propaganda. And even more importantly, they understand that funding Israel with their tax dollars is not only an act of unmitigated evil, but also it's detrimental to their future and that of the country. The era of Zionist hawks in the Democratic Party is coming to an end, with Biden and Nancy Pelosi gone and the likes of Chuck Schumer old and on the way out. That Democrats elected the country's first Palestinian American to Congress is indicative of changing attitudes among the party's voting base.
I am the only Palestinian American member of Congress now, and my mere existence has disrupted the status quo. I am so personal for me. I am a reminder to colleagues that Palestinians do indeed exist, that we are human, that we are allowed to dream. We are mothers, daughters, granddaughters. We are justice seekers and are unapologetically about our fight against oppressions of all forms. And colleagues, Palestinians aren't going anywhere no matter how much money you send to Israel's apartheid government.
So the question now is, how do we help the rest of the United States turn against the criminal Israeli occupation? Well, the answer is obvious. We do so by showing just how much US government support for the Zionist state hurts ordinary Americans. So let's start with the money. But I don't want to spend too much time here, as most Americans are at least vaguely familiar with the level of financial aid the US gives Israel. But let's quickly break down the numbers. The United States gives Israel roughly $4 billion each year, making the Zionist state the largest recipient of US aid. And in Israel,
okay, there's a purpose. There was a purpose to that. Because the challenge is for you to have a conscious competence in believing in yourself. Are you seeing yourself as an important soul and person that can contribute to on any of these levels? Do you feel disempowered that none of this stuff, you're not good enough for it, so you just leave it to be? It has nothing to do with you. Why is he playing this boring video? Or interesting, I'm learning. Do you believe in yourself on every level? If you're hit with a challenge, and whether you survive to the next day or whether some other people survive to the next day will require you to have knowledge to be able to speak on political matters, be able to speak on medical matters, be able to speak on mathematics, be able to speak as someone that has an idea of how they feel things should work. You matter at that point. Because if you don't, at that point, the challenge is you're going to have to stay. And if you stay, things are about to get worse where you're living. I'm telling you, that's what's happening right now in your personal life. And this ain't no hypothetical spiritual thing. I'm telling you with evidence that shit, the longshoremen, do I have to show you the video with the longshoremen in their protest that they just finally, they pressured the big company. But you know where the big companies are going to get that money from? They're going to hire, they're going to make prices higher. They're going to make prices higher. Are you ready? To all those things you habitually spend money on to be $5 more, because now the longshoremen that just did that 2-day protest, to pay them, the companies are all going, the distributors are going to charge the companies more, just like they did during the pandemic. And then the companies are going to have to charge, make their prices go higher. And they do it uniformly. And so, which means rent will go higher. Not just food, not just clothes. Which means they'll start charging for social media. They're going to charge you $100 for a touch-up at the barbershop. They're going to charge you to get your hair done $600, ladies. To get your locks twisted, they charging $500. To get your nails done, $100. A massage for an hour that was $100 is going to be $300. Gas is going to be $9 a gallon, regardless who's voted in as president. And this is the game being played, because we're not uniformly believing in ourselves like those people the Longshoremen International Union did. But those of us that are so spiritual are always, we doing things together, but we don't do things together when it comes to business and when it comes to politics. Because this myth about spirituality means sit on your ass and be a meditator and don't eat food and be a breatharian. Meanwhile, there's children starving around the corner and you could be helping them, but you don't want to do anything but be the holy moly. And that has never at all been what spirituality was. Never. Spiritual always had a justice component, fighting for justice, a truth and honesty component, fighting for truth and honesty, and a sharing, caring, charity component. Sacrificing for others. So it's empathy, compassion, and love. Humor, the great goddess of humor. That's who's the great healer. You know, they turned comedians negative. Comedians are supposed to be the source to heal, help heal us, make us laugh. Now they somehow turned them negative. We got to believe that we got a special knowledge within ourselves, that we can outsmart it all and still laugh in the end. That's who we are. But do we believe that? That's the question. Watch this. This stuff matters. Because you don't believe me, they can program you to think and have attitudes that aren't beneficial for you. And then when real shit is happening, you feel so disempowered, or it's so hurtful or so scary, or it's just so that you won't even allow yourself to learn anything about it or have your mind in it, because you don't see that your words on social media matter. So if you took up on it, just spoke a little bit about it, like this is a shame, this is bad, you don't know how strong that is in the algorithm. And that will stop the war. But instead we sit back and act like, oh, that's just news, I ignore it, I have no power. Yes, you do. Do a post. I'm against the war, and shame on this country for doing this, and shame on this group, Hamas, for doing that. They're both wrong. Just say something like that. I'm neutral, but you know what? They're both wrong. We need to stop this before it spreads heat. You got to do stuff like that, especially if you're young, because it shows you're intelligent. It don't matter what age you is. It don't matter your background. You got to be intelligent. We said so much about P. Diddy, P. Daddy. You cared so much about, had so much to say, and then you're touching in the comments and stuff. Come on, man. That don't mean shit to you. Then people don't even know you exist. If we put that same energy, just, a post, not just comments, an actual post. I want Haiti to come out of the island country Haiti to come out as poverty. That's too sad to see. All of them good like that. I want them good people over in Ukraine and Russia to stop war so that the good people can have some peace. This is another level of believing in yourself. We already earlier in the talked about believing in yourself if you're like an athlete. If you got on
Subscribe
here,
to
we
our
talked
YouTube
about
channel.
being an intellectual.
Don't forget to like our videos and hit the bell
Now we're
icon
talking
to
about
stay
being a
updated
cyber
with the
believer in
latest.
yourself. Believing in yourself when you wash in the kitchen. When somebody come in there, you want it to be orderly and look nice, the floor to be clean. The dishes to be clean and stuff. That stuff matters. You see what I'm saying? I got something. Let me see, where is it? Something that's interesting right here. Oh. Oh, yeah, okay. Here we go. This one is directly for y'all. Watch this.
Hi there. So today let me talk about Pan-African content creation in Africa, which is very much under attack. So about 3-4 days ago, the United States Secretary of State, Anthony Blinken, issued a statement claiming, without evidence of course, that the Pan-African YouTube channel, African Stream, was financed by the Russian media, that is the Russia Today.
RT also secretly runs the online platform African Stream across a wide range of social media platforms. Now, according to the outlet's website, African Stream is, and I quote, a pan-African digital media organization based exclusively on social media platforms, focusing on giving a voice to all Africans both at home and abroad. In reality, the only voice it gives is to Kremlin propagandists.
And so he immediately after that statement, their YouTube channel was deleted. Their Facebook account was also deleted without any explanation as to why. Then of course their TikTok account was deleted the following day, and their Instagram, which was also very huge, was also deleted. Now the reason he said that was because let me go to that. So as you know, the African Stream is a Pan-African YouTube. It started as a short YouTube, or the YouTube Shorts platform, that was making these smaller mobile videos on YouTube and TikTok. So their TikTok account and their YouTube account was very active because of those short version videos. They later started making long form videos where they would do podcasts, like the one I'm showing you right now. That was a podcast. And what happens basically is that they talk to Pan-Africanists and then ask them whether they can come to their show and talk about Africa. And as you can see, like in this photo here, these are guests who are Pan-African. One of them is actually wearing a shirt written Pan-Africanist. So you can see that's what basically I'm talking about. And in this one, they were talking about what? They were saying that they are anti-imperialist video. And they talked about anti-imperialism. They were talking about, mostly they talk about African issues. If you go to their website, they have Africa, they have a page for South Africa, a page for West Africa, North Africa, East Africa, Central Africa, and so on. So they only talk about Africa and mostly issues that affect Africans. They don't talk mostly about the West, they talk about us. And the other thing is that it's becoming unwritten rule or a crime for African media to talk about the West, which is understandable, but they've also gone ahead to say that you cannot talk about ourselves now. For example, if you go to any media house, you can go to Daily Mail, for example. Up there they have you go to Daily Mail, up there you find they have a page for Africa. You go there, they have so many stories on Africa, right? You go to Al Jazeera, the same thing. You go to BBC, they actually have a bureau, a huge office in Nairobi, Kenya, and another one in South Africa, and another one in Nigeria, dedicated to creating content on Africa. Same goes for DW. They have a very huge bureau in Africa, in Nairobi, and another one, I think, in Ghana or Nigeria, talking about Africa. The same also applies to France 24. They have a huge bureau somewhere in West Africa. They also have another one, I think, in Nairobi, that talks about African stories, and they are everywhere, and they talk about us. Now, if you look at these, the Guardian, sorry, you see the kind of stories they talk about. They will never talk about positive stories. You will never find a positive story on Africa like Tanzania launches their electric train on any of those media. They never want to show the world that Africa is not a poor country that is still living in the forests. They don't want to let the world know that we have electric trains just like they do. They don't want to talk about that. They only talk about things, negative stories. There's floods, the floods sweeping Africa. They will talk about Sudan war.
Okay. Y'all realize what's going on now? They want to polarize us, sabotage us, and be culture vultures all at the same time. You're going to sit up there, polarize us, sabotage us, and culture vulture us all at the same damn time. Who does that shit? Who does some shit like that? How evil is that? To sit up there and have this piece of shit. I've watched Secretary after Secretary of State, and I'm going to tell you, that dude's a bumbleclot. Nothing but a piece of trash. Did you hear what he had the nerve to say, and what business was it for him to claim down-to-earth grassroots Africans in Africa that are doing social media and LLC promoting Africa in a positive light? All of a sudden, they're slaves to Russians, and it's Russians. How in the fuck are you not a fucking racist? Coming up with false accusation, the spirit of false accusation. I keep teaching y'all about the spirit of false accusations and how they keep black people down. That's all you got to do is falsely claim something against somebody black. And then you got the haters amongst black people. All they do is sit around and falsely accuse other blacks. And we wondering why the other races are doing it to us. They getting it from us. They watching us sitting around doing it to each other. And then we sit back and watch people lying people, and it's a hands-off policy. Man, when I was in Africa, it was totally different. A female, a lion, a good dude, man, them sisters will roll her ass up like a blunt. They would beat her ass. I watched this in multiple countries. You know, sisters get away with falsely accusing no good man. You could falsely accuse a no good ninja, a no good dude, but you can't be going after the positive, good beneficiaries. And the same thing, they would just kill dudes that was out there falsely accusing or hurting good women. That's what keep Africa, because it's more freer. That's what keep it strong, that they still rule and have order over themselves. They don't have no oppressive regime and people telling them what they can and can't do. That is exactly what the hell is wrong with black Americans. And do you see how detrimental all the shit that's going on over here in America with blacks, the same shit is going on. They over in Africa doing the same. The United States government, that was the United States government Secretary of fucking State talking about this. We all know that's an innocent outfit. That African YouTube / media group, that's a total positive thing for anybody. They be always highlighting people that are not even from Africa and not African, that are in Africa, and the positive things they do. And they're going to sit up there and make them, because they used to call it communists. So if it was the 1980s or 70s or 60s, they'd have been like, these are commies. But they can't say that now. So now they're just saying, yeah, Russia is doing behind this. Behind what? Because they're completely positive. They're completely beneficial. They're completely altruistic for the entire human race. But it just goes to show the detrimental level of hatred, bitterness, the sabotage, vampire, culture vulture, and disunify, polarize, melanoid, African, black, indigenous people. Like they went and got the Secretary of State of the United States to go after them. Usually it's Europeans from Europe fucking with them. They went and came to America to go after that. Now I want y'all to go and check out and support that African group. I don't give a damn if your eyes are blue and you white. Because if you're an altruistic, positive person for the win-win, we need to be supporting them, even if we just go there and subscribe and like their channel, go to their website and purchase something small off of it that doesn't cost nothing but $5 or $10, or purchase a little membership, because they're coming for us if we, those of us that know how to work together. Like how I'm doing this, if it was I'm telling you, I lived in Africa for years. If you was in Africa, and what I'm doing right here, this phone will be off the fucking hook. I'll be having to keep people from calling in. People will be emailing me, calling, yeah, let's do this together. I want to do this. I want to be a moderator. I want to do this and this and this. I do this and this. Because I'm in the United States of America, people are so damn depressed, they don't believe in themselves. And this is what I was trying to lead y'all to. It's about you. It's not about who you following. They're never gonna know you exist. Fan, the word fan is short for fanatic. Are you a permanent fan? Because if you are a permanent fan, you'll never believe in yourself. Of course, there's still people that we look up to and admire, and we're gonna be love struck if we meet them. But are you a permanent fan? Can you get in front of that person you admire and show them what you got and what your value is? Because if you can't, then what if your value is that you were supposed to be an administrator working with an outfit like mine, or outfit like your cousins or your friends, or even your enemies, possibly your frenemies. But at least you're getting that experience in to better yourself until you can create your own outfit, your own live stream, your own business. Don't nobody want to work together. Nobody want to be open and honest. Everybody's so emotionally tense and scared over here. That ain't how it works. That's why they got that over there in Africa. It's a lot of people, it ain't about money. They work together to do things. That's gone in the United States of America. And then I'm in California, so it's really hectic. It's really, really rigid. You go to the Midwest, why you see all them businesses and all this like more conservative, because then people work together out there. The South too, it's more conservative businesses and all these different things they doing. But then they got they fly shit they do too. But when you go to the big cities, like I don't live in the big city, but when I go up the highway to the freeway and I'm in LA, depending on what area I'm gonna go, Burbank to the studios, you know what I'm saying, better known to y'all as Hollywood, you know, if I'm gonna go to the hood, from the 10 down to the 100s, through all the neighborhoods on Crenshaw or La Brea, go up to Hollywood, like I said, go down to Gardena, Inglewood, regardless of what I'm doing out there, East Los, East LA, I'm doing my specific thing, believing in myself, connecting with people, doing stuff. Like I said, I'm going to get off of this and I'm going to go work with these people and do this and this with them about getting this finance. Because once I get the money up and I pay for this marketing company and all this different stuff, I'm going to have a big following. They do all that for me. And then, whoever's working with me now, because you believed in yourself, then we can build together. But the head game is not to believe in yourself. To be 12 years old emotionally when you're 25. To be 25 emotionally when you're 40. You got to be able to see shit about yourself. And that's how you come up. I know I see some of y'all, especially on this Instagram, that got some good shit going for y'all because I've been following y'all, looking y'all up. And I see the stuff y'all doing, and I admire it, and I see that you got a team. And I'm trying to tell these people about how it really works. And I'm trying to work with you. I'll interview you, blah, blah, blah. When I go, I'm going to get the other camera and the other lighting system. You see, everything's coming together. And this is all by myself. Of course, my queen and me do this together, but I'm saying this is by myself. This is my own aspiration. Know what I'm saying? Go to davidanddimitri.com. Go to Prime Up International, INTL.com. You'll see more about me and how I've been working with people since before social media on building businesses, making things happen, being a success. That's what we have to do. We have to know our value. This precedes social media, what I am. So I ain't trying to make myself out to be this big success, but once it started coming, then I'm gonna have to shave. Because then I'm gonna have to be working with you all that are believing in yourself and are manifesting, right? Now, this all relates to all this negativity going on in this world because that's the polarization. Why? Because we're in a contended world. Will this world continue or will it be nuclear bombed? Like it or not, that's what's the contention. Will the humans destroy themselves? Then there's your own personal thing going on with your soul. The forces trying to keep you stuck in a rut, on a stuck routine, level you off, limit your success, which is limiting your experience. That's what success is, new, elevated experience. And so I'm not about to be talking all this metaphysical, yada, yada, and all this mythological. I have time to talk about that. That's not what I'm doing right now. Right now, because it's just a few of us, I'm trying to get to you and show you the value I can bring to you. So if you want, work with me and support me because you're supporting you. You just seen some real serious shit about what's going on. And also I gave you a reason to choose wisely on who you supporting when it comes to these wars and when it comes to these elections, all this stuff. So now we got to get into this spiritual thing. We got to move forward. We've already did a lot. I'm grateful that everyone is here.
Spiritually, this is going to open doors that have been locked within you. Old emotional wounds might resurface, and suppressed desires or fears will come into the light, urging you to Spiritually, this is going to open Our world is about to witness something that has never happened before. A second moon will appear in the night sky. Yes, you heard that right. An asteroid set to orbit the Earth. For the first time, Earth will have 2 moons. This isn't science fiction, it's real. An asteroid on course to orbit the Earth will appear as a second moon in our sky. Imagine the power. 2 moons pulling at our world, shifting energies, and stirring up the balance we've known for millennia. This double lunar event is unlike anything we've witnessed before. It will change not only how the sky looks, but how we feel. Let's talk about the energy shift. 2 moons mean twice the power, twice the influence, and potentially twice the chaos. This comes with many implications. Think about it. The energy from this event is expected to heighten emotional intensity, causing everything from sudden mood swings to erratic behaviors. This isn't just an internal shift. The world around us will feel it too. Technology could malfunction, communication may become more erratic, and even weather patterns might become unpredictable. But what's even more important is the spiritual significance. In many cultures, the moon represents balance and harmony. With 2 moons, that balance could be disrupted, forcing us to confront deeper, unresolved aspects of ourselves. Are you prepared for the emotional, spiritual, and even physical turbulence that's coming? Because this
Yo, that's a little bit about that. We going into the spiritual part of this, and of course it was all spiritual. So, Sister Delphi Priestess, we hope you could call in and give us some game about what this 2 moon thing was about.
Spiritually, this is going to open doors that have been locked within you. Old emotional wounds might resurface, and suppressed desires or fears will come into the light, urging you to face them head on. The Earth's energy field is constantly in motion, influenced by the gravitational pull of celestial bodies like the moon. With 2 moons in orbit, that gravitational influence will double, creating a ripple effect not just in nature, but in global events. Expect an increase in seismic activity, unpredictable weather patterns, and even a shift in the magnetic field. Earthquakes, storms, and other natural phenomena may spike as the planet adapts to this new cosmic influence. It's as if the Earth's core is being stirred, its foundations rattled by this sudden celestial imbalance. But this isn't just about natural events. Human systems like technology and communication networks may also feel the strain. The heightened lunar pull could cause technological malfunctions. Signals might drop, devices could glitch, and systems we rely on daily could falter under the pressure of this unprecedented cosmic force. A mass awakening, or even a rise in global unrest as people struggle to cope with the intense energy surging through them. Are we ready for this? Whether we are or not, it's happening. The question is how we prepare ourselves. The key is grounding. In moments like these, when the universe throws something so massive our way, it's easy to feel lost or unmoored. But grounding ourselves through meditation, nature, and deep inner work will help us ride out the storm and emerge stronger on the other side.
All right. So I was saying, believing in yourself is your performance is on right now. Your main belief in yourself. I don't care who you are on this. I don't care how far up and how good you living, how bad you living. None of that. How do you prepare? You need to be preparing, because everywhere, whether it's cosmic, whether it's astronomical, whether it's astrological, whether it's cosmic energy, spiritual energies, physical manifestations. It's all the entire panpsychic field, the human grid that we live in on the surface of the earth, the energies, the shadow hour energies, better known to you as nighttime, the light time energies, better known to you as the day. All these energies are switching up. You understand? And that's why I even got on this, because this actually just happened days ago. The asteroid actually came by and everything. I happen to have, I was supposed to bring them to show you, but I have astronomical binoculars. So I can literally like see very far off, and I have other equipment too. So I can see things like that, and it actually happened. You have to understand that these things are not happening without consciousness. It's happening with consciousness. There's a consciousness to it. So, in other words, because they got us not believing in ourselves, we think things that are up in space happening, weather and all this stuff has no consciousness to it. Or we try to just say nature, or we just try to say God. No, there's a rational continuity consciousness, a consciousness with continuity. I did this for this reason. I did this for this reason. We did this for this reason. We did this for this reason. So now this must happen because this happened, and it will make this happen. Cause and effect is happening all the time on a conscious spiritual consciousness level, not just human spiritual consciousness level, but on a higher powers.
When the gravitational forces of two moons act upon the Earth, they also pull on the energetic fabric of our reality. This can stir up things you've buried deep within. Memories, emotions, fears. Old patterns will rise to the surface, demanding to be acknowledged and healed. This may feel overwhelming. You might find yourself more emotionally reactive or struggling with thoughts and feelings that seem to come out of nowhere. But remember, chaos is the womb from which transformation is born. Instead of resisting these feelings, embrace them. They are the universe's way of guiding you towards spiritual evolution. These moments of heightened tension and inner conflict are the signals that you are on the edge of a breakthrough. And as you move through this, you'll find that the clarity and peace you've been searching for will reveal themselves just on the other side of the storm.
Oh, yeah. So these emotions are coming up with the polarization in the election, the World War III, the economic problems, the protest stopping the food from flowing, the violence, the criminal violence, the levels of jealousy and envy. All this different stuff is what they were just talking about. So we're linking what we're emotionally experiencing, but we need to prepare, because what we're already experiencing is what we're going through a crossroad, and that's why that heavenly body, as a mythological term for it, or that asteroid is what the scientists want to call it, but that form of consciousness manifesting itself as a physical light form in the shadow hours or night skies, the newt, the expansion, it showed itself because it's relating with what in the video it said it's causing us to have these emotions. No, they were already here. It could be causing it to be more intense. And so coming into this more emotional, chaotic entropy stage that we're going through, they don't want you to believe in yourself. So when you got a chance to sit still and hear these messages, or when you walk away from these messages and you go right back to other people's shit, Other people's shit is what Jesus was talking about in the Bible when he said the parable of the sower. And this is the most important parable of all. You know not this parable, you know not none of them. Because what it's saying is when somebody give you knowledge and wisdom, and they gave you knowledge to truth and truth to wisdom, you're supposed to be applying that properly. That is what's wise. You see what I'm saying? That's the wisdom. This is what's got to be. So what they were just talking about in the video is it's a sign. And we're going into this intense emotionality. That's why they called it a second moon. They knew it wasn't a second moon, but that was to get your attention to know. And they warning you, they letting you know you're feeling crazy because it is crazy. You can't sleep at night because it's going crazy. Your heart is keeping you woke, but your mind is tired as hell wanting to go to sleep. You just talk with people, but somehow they're on your consciousness, or you could feel them thinking about you, and it's keeping you from sleep at night. And you just talk to them for 2 minutes. But it's because they have a void in themselves. And so they're vampires, they're parasite leeches, or maybe you're the vampire, you're the parasitical leech. There is no such thing as just that. That means you're in a condition. You can change that condition if you believe in yourself. You parasiting off of everybody when they come, and then you can't sleep at night because somebody parasited off you. You shouldn't have been sleeping with them people. You got an STD, a sexual transmitted demon. It's getting weird. No, it been weird. It's just intensifying. So you got to be able to get to yourself, where you're not a slave to this, the phone. You're not a slave to all the social media, but more importantly, you're not a slave to any of these principalities coming through other people. Just take just an encounter. Some people so vampirish, they got such a void in it, they're soulless, they're just an ego. Then you got people that they're a soul, but their ego it's called an O.W.U in the Akan, Ghanaian West African, the Akan people's spiritual practice. They call it an O.W.U, and it's like if anybody in here is Ghanaian or know that term, there's a definition for where your soul is detaching from your mind, your ego. So now you just becoming an ego. You're ego driven, your ego consciousness, your soul conscious is your consciousness. Your true awareness, your trueness, what you contribute to the world, not just information and programming into you. And so that's what this is saying, that there's a threat that you will get an O.W.U and you will become totally ego consciousness. And you end up doing, even though you got everything in the world, you end up like Puff Daddy, just fucking people over all the time, tripping. Or some people trying to screw you over because they just as bad as you. You don't even think that you're bad because you keep seeing bad in people. I told y'all about that red flagging. You become a little bitty P Diddy, a female P Diddy, a male P Diddy, while you're criticizing and looking down on P Diddy. You gotta watch it when you just become ego conditioned. You got to be soul conscious. They used to call black people, the soul train, dancing and partying and being soulful, and being emotional, but with this energy vibration of nature, because we're nature observing ourselves as human beings, as the original human beings. We're not the clone. We're not the android. We're not the cyborg, but those exist. You see what I'm saying? Those exist fully and really. And that's who actually ruling the world. And that's what that was just talking about with the moon and the second moon and all that. And I just wanted to share that spirituality and that spiritual awareness with you to kind of pretty much close out. I brought you some energy. And like I said, that parable of the sower, look it up in the Bible, the words are read. That is what's telling you in the words are read, that you need to get this knowledge and build it to truth, wisdom, and add that truth to your wisdom. Then you apply it with understanding. You just don't go. You don't just be going. That's a ego driven. That's not soul consciousness. You need to be soul consciousness. You need to slow down. You need to listen and not just talk. You see what I'm saying? You need to disappear and not just be seen. You're the one. But believing in you ain't just you did good yesterday. You did good when you was on the field. You did good when you was in the weight room. You did good when you spoke, did your public speaking, your social media. You did good in the music studio. You got to keep showing up and you got to keep showing out. The only way is through soul consciousness. The ego can't do it for you. And so this is what I bring. Hit me up, daviddimitri.com. The book will be released November 1st on all platforms. David Dimitri, live in color. The song will be released and the music video will be released about January, if even that long way. But the book will be out around January, etc. Outline to empower, how to do and what to know for evolutionary living. This is the knowledge that I'm bringing. Next time, I'm going to be dealing with a couple of books. This book is called Mental Dominance. This is the teachings of the Crow, the Vietnamese spy and spiritual teachings. Mental dominance, and we're going to compare that to the 42 Laws of Power, these books, and you're going to be empowered. And that'll be my next one. This time, I'm going to actually put a video out and let you know when I'm going to be going live. I should have did that. I did that, but I did it 30 minutes before I came on. But thank you, gratitude for everybody coming on. And here go a little bit of my song. You know what? I think I'm gonna share something with y'all. Share this with y'all.
Anubis, Sabatio Tap Anubis, and Todo Nectaru.
Hotep. King Minnesota, man, I don't know what's going on. I'm just calling you because I need some advice.
So.
Anubis, Sabatio Tap Anubis, and Todo Nectaru.
Hotep. King Minnesota, man, I don't know what's going on. I'm just calling you because I need some advice. This COVID-19 coronavirus got life all confused. Like, what should we even do? Should we go out to vote? What should we do, Baba?
Let me consult and todo Orisha. Vundu no bosu. Then I will give you an answer. Yes.
Baba, we need you. With all this Black Lives Matter uprising, innocent black people getting killed by cops on camera, the cops killing us black women too. Should we vote?
Let me consult the divinity. Deceitful presidents can't represent me. Don't need no fake ass president to represent me. I'm prophesying that President Donald Trump soon be dying. He's always lying and instigating people to be fighting. I'm prophesying that Trump fall dead for backbiting. Trump's people sighing when he fall dead. I'm visualizing. Mamas work with COVID-19, abundant heads, and fathers work struggling with masks, muzzle and breath. Elders passing away suddenly, virus or death. Trump claimed coronavirus wasn't a threat. He cut the tax on the big rich CEO class. 2020 better corporations, trillions gas. We're here, suffering, shut down, time is past. Great God, God is all this, spring is past. Inflation shrieking at 1200, they gave them ass. Really only $120 gone fast. Trump supporters rushing investment appreciation. Second civil war upon us, divided nation. Prophesying that President Donald Trump soon be dying. He's always lying and instigating people to be fighting. I'm prophesying that Trump fall dead for backbiting. Trump's people sighing when he fall dead. I'm visualizing. Keep on teaching hatred, leaders with no patience, mad corrupt intentions. Cops keep killing black men, corporate media fighting, most of the time in lying. Donald Trump's exciting, classes, races blinded, bribed his way to be president. 2020 election, if Trump ain't voted president, national emergency to say president. I'm prophesying, no hateful president can represent me. Black people crying, murders on camera, deceitful presidents can't represent me. I'm prophesying, Trump murdered by his own, fake ass president can't represent me. Ain't no denying, second civil war, ain't no dead ass president gon' represent me. Rise our vibrations, loves our nation. We the righteous people, hybrid narcissist forces, heartless soulless. Those Trumps no good people, righteous migrant forces, join black forces. Yo, cause we all equal, righteous white and Jew forces, man your horses, and help us fight Trump's people. This prophesying that Donald Trump soon be dying. His people lying and instigating masses to be fighting and dying. Cops are inciting, oppressed they kill to uprising. Trump's people divided, some will kill him dead. I'm prophesying a divided nation falls a corrupt nation. It's all in the timing. Oppressive nations, nuclear incineration. I am prophesying a ruthless leader is a reasonless leader. Mouth always running. The future's with us, the children's deserve freedom from this fighting. I'm prophesying Donald Trump soon be dying. He's always lying and instigating us to be fighting. I prophesied it. Ain't no dead ass president gonna represent me. Dead ass, dead ass, dead ass, dead ass, dead ass. Think about these statements. Concentrate on them, focus, give time. Don't just watch the video, have some emotions, like the song, or take it for granted. Put some energy into thinking about this, because together we can make things come true. Don't judge with moralism. Most of all, believe in you. Believe in us. We can make things come true together. We can stop the spirit of deception and hate. So don't worry about killing this martyr or this avatar named Donald Trump or whoever the forces of wickedness come up with. We'll kill these spirits of deception and hate. But we can only do it together with concentrated visualization, hoping and caring and believing.
Yep, so benevolence, gratitude for all of y'all chiming in. You know what I'm saying? You want to contact me, go on daviddimitri.com. You can see my email and everything else. Link me up. Holler